The sound that woke me wasn't my alarm. It was the deep, rattling growl of diesel engines echoing through my bones, the kind that makes your chest vibrate before your brain even catches up. At first, I thought it was a dream, one of those half-awake moments where reality and memory blur. Then I heard it again. Doors slamming, voices, heavy footsteps right under my bedroom window. I jumped out of bed, heart racing, and pulled back the curtain. That's when I saw them. Two massive pickup trucks, lifted, mud-splattered, parked neatly inside my garage. My garage, the one I paid for, the one I hadn't opened for anyone in weeks. And standing between them, hands on her hips like she owned the place, was Sharon. If you've ever lived next to someone like Sharon, you already know the type. She wasn't loud all the time, but when she was, the entire neighborhood felt it. She had opinions about everything: trash bins, fence heights, lawn colors, where people parked, how long guests stayed. She spoke with the confidence of someone who had never been told no and genuinely believed rules were for other people. I'd kept things civil with her for years, smiling, nodding, choosing peace over confrontation. But as I stood there in my pajamas, staring at two trucks blocking the garage I leased out for official county use, something inside me went cold. I marched downstairs and out the front door, the morning air sharp against my skin. "Sharon," I called out, trying to keep my voice steady. She turned slowly, sunglasses perched on her head, completely unbothered. "Oh, good, you're up," she said. I needed the space. The driveway was full, and these won't fit on the street. "Hope you don't mind." "Hope you don't mind," as if she'd borrowed a cup of sugar. I looked past her at the trucks, one black, one dark blue, both clearly marked inside with equipment tracks, radios, and reinforced frames. Not personal vehicles, not weekend toys, county vehicles. "You can't park here," I said. "This garage isn't for personal use." She waved a hand dismissively. "It's empty most of the time. You don't even use it, and it's just for a day or two." I felt that familiar tightening in my chest, the one that comes when you're being talked over, when someone assumes your boundaries don't matter. "Sharon," I said slowly, "this garage is leased to the county sheriff's department." She laughed. Actually laughed. "Oh please, you're always making things sound bigger than they are." I wanted to yell. I wanted to demand the keys and call a tow truck on the spot. But instead, I took a breath. Years ago, after my wife passed, I'd learned the hard way that reacting in anger usually gave people like Sharon exactly what they wanted. So I stepped back and let her finish. "My brother and his buddy are helping me move some equipment," she continued. "They'll be gone by evening." "Relax." That's when one of the truck doors opened, and a man stepped out, mid-40s, broad-shouldered, already annoyed. He glanced at me like I was the problem. "Everything okay?" he asked Sharon. "Yeah," she said. "Just a misunderstanding." "A misunderstanding?" I nodded, turned around, and went back inside. Not because I was backing down, but because I knew exactly what was coming next. 3 years earlier, after a string of break-ins in the area, the county sheriff's office had approached me about leasing my detached garage. It was reinforced concrete, discreet, close to a main road. They needed a secure spot for unmarked vehicles and equipment rotation. The lease was strict. No unauthorized access, no exceptions. I'd signed it not just for the money, but because it made me feel useful again. After retiring early due to a back injury, after losing my wife, I'd struggled with feeling invisible. That lease gave me purpose, and Sharon had just violated it. I called the number I'd been given for situations exactly like this. I didn't embellish. I didn't complain. I simply explained that 2 unauthorized vehicles were inside the leased garage. The voice on the other end went quiet for a moment, then said, "Stay inside. We'll handle it." I made myself some coffee and sat by the window, watching Sharon pace around, clearly confident she'd won. She even brought out folding chairs, chatting and laughing as if it were a tailgate party. Neighbors peeked through blinds. A few waved awkwardly at her. No one said anything. No one ever did. About 20 minutes later, the street changed. You can feel it when authority arrives. The air tightens. The casual noise drops. First came a patrol SUV, then another, then a third. Lights off, but unmistakable. They parked in front of my house, blocking the road. Doors opened in unison. Deputies stepped out, calm but focused. Sharon's smile faded. A tall deputy approached her. "Ma'am, are these your vehicles?" "Yes," she said quickly. "Well, my brother's. Do you have permission to park them here?" She pointed at my house. He said it was fine. The deputy turned to me, standing quietly on my porch. "Sir?" "No," I said. "I didn't." He nodded, already knowing the answer. Another deputy was already inspecting the garage, taking photos. A third was speaking into a radio. Sharon's voice rose. "This is ridiculous. It's just a garage." The deputy looked at her, expression firm but not unkind. "Ma'am, this property is under an active lease with the county sheriff's department. Unauthorized access is a serious violation." Her face drained of color. "What?" At that moment, a fourth vehicle arrived, an unmarked SUV. The sheriff himself stepped out, middle-aged, composed, eyes sharp. He didn't raise his voice. He didn't need to. "Who authorized access to this garage?" he asked. No one answered. The trucks were impounded. Sharon's brother was cited. She was escorted back to her house, still arguing, still insisting it was all a mistake. The sheriff apologized to me personally and thanked me for handling it correctly. Before leaving, he looked me in the eye and said, "You did the right thing. Boundaries matter." That afternoon, the neighborhood was quiet, too quiet. People avoided eye contact. Sharon didn't come out of her house, but the story didn't end there. 2 days later, there was a knock on my door. I opened it to find Sharon standing there, eyes red, shoulders slumped. She looked smaller somehow. "I didn't know," she said, "about the lease, about any of it." I studied her face, searching for sincerity. For the first time, I didn't see arrogance. I saw fear, embarrassment, maybe even regret. "I should have asked," she continued. "I just a broken bar. I'm used to handling things myself." I nodded. "That's the problem. Handling things yourself doesn't mean handling other people's property." She swallowed. "I'm sorry." It wasn't dramatic, it wasn't cinematic, but it was real. I accepted her apology, and not because she deserved it, but because holding on to anger had cost me enough in life already. We stood there for a moment in silence, two people forced into honesty by consequences neither of us could avoid. After she left, I sat down and thought about how close I'd come to reacting differently, how easy it would have been to shout, to threaten, to escalate. Instead, I'd trusted the process. I'd respected my own boundaries. In the weeks that followed, things changed. Sharon stopped policing the neighborhood. People started talking more. One neighbor even thanked me quietly for standing up without making it ugly. And me, I slept better, not because I'd wanna but because I'd finally stopped shrinking to keep the peace. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do isn't raising your voice or proving a point. It's knowing your worth, honoring your commitments, and letting accountability speak louder than anger. Because respect doesn't come from fear. It comes from boundaries and the courage to protect them.